Let's keep this show going because, hey, we'll be getting to the 2038 season before you know it. Because we're going to have to. We're going to have to. All right. Well, first and foremost, we can do a contract extension. We want to bring back our shortstop, Mr. George Freitas, because he is amazing. All the generational talents in Pittsburgh are on skates. Yeah. We will give him, actually, can I sign him for less? I mean, if he only wants to do like $3 million a year, I could do that. No, he does want more. There we go. So Freitas is back. Jason Gill, we definitely don't want to lose. Can drop that down to about $3.2 million. Let's sign the guys that we know we want back first. And then the fringe players from there, we'll figure that out as we go. So Dixon's back. A bit of decline for Stevie Varela, but we can still get him on essentially an entry-level deal for one more year. He accepts. The big ones are going to be Rivera, who wants $10 million a year. Galloway wants about $6 million a year, really. And then Howard O'Neill wants $4 million a year. We might have some massive turnover in the bullpen this year. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, boy. All right. Our only good catcher and Darren McCauley has been in a bit of free fall. Ray Nunez is now nearly our highest rated catcher. I don't know if we're bringing back McCauley for $3 million a year, $3 to $4 million a year. I think this is Darren McCauley's last year here, and I think Ray Nunez is going to be taking over. I never would have guessed that Ray Nunez would ever be our starting catcher, but next year that looks possible. Pablo Ramirez, thank God we have 2 more years of contract control, so in terms of a secondary first baseman, we're good. Andy Holland, former Rookie of the Year, who has massively declined. Oh, God, he's going to want $5 million a season. This might be Andy Holland's last year, too. Chad Dean. We do have 3 years of decent contract control, low price. Our worst first-round pick, who was already down like 7 overall points, Alberto Del Villar. I think we'll just be saying goodbye to Alberto. DJ Liss. We definitely need to bring back 2 years, $800K. That's perfect. Okay, so these are the 6 that heading into next season, I have no idea if they're going to be back or not because they're probably looking for way too much money. So we'll keep that in mind. 54 and 58. Apparently the 9th ranked team in baseball, which LOL. Thank God we got Ricky Gutierrez signed because he'd be over $30 million if we were heading into this offseason without him signed. Oh, goodness. Goodness. All right. Well, let's get this season over with because we are not making the playoffs. There is no reason to sit here and hype up this team. It's just, let's just get this shit show over with. And as I say that, we go on a run through August and are now 5 games over 500. 8.5 back for the division. Half a game out of the wild card. We have flirted with making the playoffs for years, and we always collapse in September. Maybe this year we won't. Maybe this year we won't, or maybe we will. Who's to say? McCauley went back up by an overall point. Okay. Well, we do have to handle our September call-ups. Wow, Andy Holland he's gone. He's gone, man. He's already dropped like 5 overall points in 2 years. That's insane. That is insane. He's definitely gone. Scott Obama is going to be our second baseman next year. I can't imagine keeping Holland as he is an overall free fall. That's nuts. Wow. Ooh, Ruben Ott up to an 82. It's not bad at all. Okay. In terms of that AAA roster, we'll bring up Charles Spencer as our pitcher call-up. And honestly, let's go for the veteran Thomas Gaucho. Let's do it. Let's go for the veteran Thomas Gaucho. No harm there. And then we got 3 catchers in single A. Let's just call these dudes up because why the hell not? Drafting without scouting. Check. Equals check simming entire second half. Now might make the playoffs. Current most way to play is by not playing. Yeah, no, that's clearly, yeah. All right, well, we won the first game against St. Louis. We lose the series. 3 games against Tampa. We win the series. 9.5 back. A game and a half back. We gotta put a prediction, chat. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. Now is the time. Will we make the playoffs? Is the prediction that is going live. Feel free to gamble those points away. Oh, man. Do I have someone else that can move into a long reliever role? Let's move Stevie Varela there so we don't have 2 setup men. What division is crap if the Central's all over 500? I can check that. I mean, the NL West only has 2 teams over 500. It's just kind of general, like nobody's elite. Like the Cardinals have a division best 83 wins. It's a very mid NL this year. Compared to the AL that has 3 teams above 84, 83 wins or above already. Okay. 4 games against the Mets, then 3 later on. We lose 3 out of 4. 12.5 back for the division. That dream is dead. But we're still only, oh my God, look at this. We're a game back for the wild card. 3 games against Atlanta. We lose the series 2-1. 4 games, and then 3 more next week against the Cubs. Every September, every single time. How? Look at August. Look at August. Look at all that green. And then we get to September. Every time. Oh my God. For those who didn't see it, we did a college basketball playthrough in the past. And it was a nightmare in terms of trying to make progress. We just could not win. This Pittsburgh franchise, as we get swept by the Mets. Oh my God. We take 3 off the Cubs. Too good to be bad, too shit to be good. Experience Pittsburgh baseball. Somebody suffered an injury. Pablo Ramirez with a torn calf muscle. That sucks. Oh, who's getting the call up for the last little bit here? Let's go with Ken Hahn. Outfielder Ken Hahn. 78 and 84. We missed the playoffs again. It's 2037. And we have not made the playoffs. Oh my God. Well, season ticket holders going to be real sad. I don't think we have any left. At catcher, like I said, Darren McCauley, if he's asking for that much money, he's probably gone in favor of Ray Nunez. We desperately need a project catcher. I mean, Fishman's there, Sato, Fodor, Martin Lopez. Like, one of these guys has to develop into a decent catcher. Messer at first base, 23 home runs, 81 RBIs. Pretty good, but there's a fair amount of regression in there, which is scary. And Pablo Ramirez will be back as the secondary first baseman, which is good. Because we don't really have an outright project. Like Maurice Burnett's okay. Henry Sixto, long way off, Second base, Andy Holland is down to a 73. From rookie of the year to cut by age 23. There's no way we're bringing back Andy Holland. That's insane. What was he, like a 79 overall B potential second baseman, and then just fell off a cliff for no reason? Scott Obama is our choice at second base for now, with Reyna kind of building up. Like, oh my God. We do have Ricky Gutierrez at third. He didn't eclipse 100 RBIs this season, but thank God we have him, the franchise player. Then like Chad Dean, Joe Dale, maybe one of these guys gets moved to second base. Shortstop, Mr. Fritas is electric. Like, multiple-time Gold Glove winner at shortstop by the end of his career. And at the plate, he's honestly not that bad. I think we did make the right choice to get rid of Fernando Flores, who was elite, but 32. I think we made the right choice to get rid of him to let Fritas continue to develop. So, in left, Ruben Ott. He's our guy. 25 home runs this year. He really developed out of nowhere. Meanwhile, Del Villar has not. We got a good amount of depth in left. Then in center, DJ Liss. Honestly, not that bad. He improved a little bit. Got Tim Coe in the system. And then in right, Rivas did play this year. 10 home runs, 61 RBIs, 687 OPS. And then you have Thomas Gaucho at a 77. But the big news is that Rick McCann is pretty much ready for prime time. We're going to have to make some tough roster decisions moving forward. And then Montanez, still above 4 ERA. Same for Frank Brandt, Jason Gill. Delgado Jr. is the long reliever. None of our starters had a sub 4 ERA. At least we got some guys coming up sooner rather than later. Let's see. Martin's not looking that great. Steve Varela looked pretty good. So, and then closers, Harper Rivera. I mean, granted, we're not looking at FIP or anything like that right now, but he looked like he was amazing. Oh, as was Howard O'Neill. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of change with the relievers as well, depending on the money that's available. The 2037 World Series goes to the Detroit Tigers over the Cincinnati Reds in 7 games. What do the Tigers look like nowadays? A veteran Anthony Volpe led the way. Honestly, they don't have a stacked roster. That is not significantly better than ours. It really isn't. If they can do it, then damn it, why can't we? World Series MVP was that first baseman, Damian Harper. It's been at least 3 straight World Series for the American League. NL MVP was Cincy's Edmund Stacy. Interesting. AL-wise, it was second year in a row, Oakland's Justin Brown. Because, of course. Let's see. NL Cy Young went to Milwaukee's Jerome Young.
Oh, good for you.
Got the Bolby in Canada. Slap, slap, slap. Clap, clap, clap. AL MVP, Ozzy Ibar in Texas. The previously mentioned Fernando Flores. Finally starting to regress at 35 years old, but yeah, he's insane. NLY is Cincinnati's Greg Marlin, formerly of the Florida Marlins, a.k.a. the Miami Marlins. Reliever of the year, Charles Colbert. And Renee Santiago, former Pirate Ken Watts, finishes as runner-up yet again. Rookie of the year in the AL, Tampa's Carlos Quezada. Oh my sweet Christ. He was the generational talent from last year's draft. The Venezuelan Mike Trout. NL Rookie of the Year was Robbie Cox, with DJ Liss finishing third. I do want to check for Gold Gloves. Rick Gutierrez finished second behind John Walters, and wow, it's shortstop. Our guy wasn't even there. Ruben Ott finished second. Well, everything about this past season was an incredible disappointment. Absolutely everything. We didn't lose anybody to a premature retirement, so at least we have that going for us. I do suppose. Is that Aaron? That was Aaron Judge that retired for the Athletics due to injury as well. Oh my God, he played until 45, and it took a torn Achilles to take him out. Okay. Huh. And he makes the Hall of Fame. Imagine Aaron Judge going into the Hall of Fame as an Athletic. 566 home runs honestly seems kind of low for him, but Arson Judge to the Hall of Fame. All right, we don't have any staff changes to make. How much money? $34 million as an available budget, as you can see in the bottom right there. That does not leave us much maneuverability. Andy Holland still wants $3 to $4 million a year. I can't really justify that, given we have Reyna behind him, who's not much worse. You know, I can't really justify that. In an honest opinion, I have MLB 21. Is it worth the upgrade? Is it basically the same thing? Depends on what you play. I would say I'm going to presume that you're not on Xbox as a Game Pass option. But I would say yes at this point. I mean, a lot of the core of the game is still the same. But if you're a franchise mode player, yes. Road to the Show is a bit interesting. I enjoy it. Some people don't. The storyline mode in this game alone is worth it. So I would say yeah. At this point, you waited a couple, you took a year off. I'd say it's worth it at this point. All right, Darren McCauley wants $5 million a season. Darren, you stepped in when Baltimore signed away wow, Dominic Wilkes regressed hard over the last few years, but he has been in Baltimore for 5 years already. Mr. McCauley stepped in when Wilkes left. At 31 years old, 1,162 games as a Pirate. We will be saying goodbye to Darren McCauley because I am not giving a 74 overall catcher in decline $5 million a year. That's just not happening. A career WAR of 12.6. Darren, we love you. But yeah, you're not coming back. Not a chance. Given contract status is qualified, I'll leave him there, whatever. I can't justify paying Andy Holland. Given that he's regressing that sharply, $3.6 million. Andy Holland won Rookie of the Year for us not all that long ago. 754 games as a Pirate. But that'll do it for Andy Holland. He goes the way of center fielder DJ Hamlin in terms of just absolutely collapsing. That's the only way to put it. I don't know what happened to this guy, but he fell off a cliff. Finishes with 8.3 WAR. Yeah, we're saying goodbye to Andy Holland as well. That's incredibly disappointing. I mean, that's now numerous first rounders that we have had just decline out of nowhere. Juan Guerrero as well at first base. So Howard O'Neill, 30 years old. A bit of regression for him already. 96 strikeouts this year, an outrageous whip. His career whip is absurd. His FIP has been phenomenal. He is a really good pitcher. He is a really, really good pitcher. How much money do you want, though? $5 million? I think we could justify a 1-year, $5 million deal. Carlos Delgado Jr., we have a team option. There's no way I'm picking up the option at $9.3 million. So we will decline that option. He wants $8 million a season. Carlos Delgado Jr. It's been a wonderful ride. But at 36 years old, 11 years as a Pirate, we will be waving goodbye to you as well. You are absolutely insane if you think I'll be giving you $8 million a year still. Has the Channel Hall of Fame been demolished? It's just we fell behind on it, and it was almost impossible to catch up, basically. 101 and 138. Has a save and a blown save in his career. 4.26 career ERA. 18.2 WAR. And a career 4.32 FIP. Delgado, we love you. You should have been the third starter in a pitching dynasty, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I'm going to send a base offer to Howard O'Neill for the moment, just to make sure that I know go back to him. Howie Galloway. We now have $43 million still in that available budget. That's not bad. Howie Galloway at 32 wants $5 to $7 million. 32 years old. He is declining a little bit. Career 5 WAR. His FIP has been very inconsistent. He is still a very serviceable pitcher. I think we can treat him like the other closer and just go on a year-by-year basis. The big one's now 30-year-old Harper Rivera, who is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. However, he wants $12 million a season. I cannot justify giving a closer $12 million a season long term. So we are going to look to keep these three because we have the money to do it. But they are all going to be short-term deals. 1 year, $5.5 million for Howard O'Neill works for me if he'll take the deal. Howie Galloway obviously wants term. And we can give him 1 year at $8 million. It's a little bit expensive, but we can afford it. Or can we? Because these pending offers are going to add up fast. 1 year, 10.6 for Harper Rivera. That leaves us with, a decent amount of money available budget-wise. We should be, because we already signed a lot of players, we should be able to afford this if these three will take the deal. Yeah, Delgado, McCauley, Andy Holland. We're going to let them go. Now's the right time. Now is the right time. And of course, we already signed Ricky Gutierrez. Thank God. Nobody else has signed yet. All right. Well, they all became free agents. Obviously, again, we don't do anything major in free agency, but the top options there was a 96 overall starter who's only 28 years old, leading the way. That's insanity. Let's see. This was the first year we didn't go out and sign a bunch of players to help fill out the roster. We got Reese, we got Wells, Trujillo. It does make a good amount of sense to put Trujillo on the 40-man. I feel like there's a good chance he'd get claimed. The Fish. Josh Fishman. I don't think I can justify putting you on the 40 man. I really don't. Especially with the other guys behind him. So hopefully we don't lose the fish. Hopefully we don't lose any of those guys, but we might. No arbitration deals to worry about. So let's get all of our other contracts out there. As per usual, this will take a little bit. But I think we're going to make it through this relatively unscathed. Like, again, we already got our major players signed. The biggest damage is potentially to the bullpen and the fact that our starting catcher and our super young second baseman decided that his prime years were from 18 to 21, and then he was just done with baseball. You can't really prepare for that. But I do love that it happens, and I wish it worked that way in other sports games. Scouting system, or should I play? Rich, I'd switch. Scouting system in this one's much better. Like, oh, Reaver, do we have a sixth? That's the question. Give me a minute. Give me a couple minutes, perhaps. Because I did not nominate myself to be the one to take care of finding a sixth player, given Davos' struggles. But yeah, Rich, the scouting makes franchise mode this year. It's a hell of a lot better. You know, we actually, granted the podcast isn't out yet, but Sin mentioned it today on the podcast. Just the idea that like NHL's scouting is just, oh, cool. I can draft all medium elites and low elites, no problem. GG's. That is not how this game works, and it's beautiful for that reason. All right. 5 hours later. I mean, maybe I won't switch. I'm having fun. I mean, shit, I don't think you'd be upset if I didn't switch, because you could just play Jedi Survivor. Honestly, I probably shouldn't, but whatever. Let's keep Del VR around until he starts demanding actual money. Got Delgadio, Rico Vargas. Okay, we're almost through all of these base offers. There we go. I just got to know what happens with those three big relievers. Rene Acevedo off to Baltimore. That big starting pitcher signed with Chicago. Oh, and we have competition for Rivera, Galloway, and O'Neill. No competition there, but we'll see what happens. We still have some dudes who haven't signed yet. If they would hurry up and sign, that would be pretty cool. All right, Irizarry and Eckert. Somebody signed. Harper Rivera comes back on another one-year deal. We have pretty good competition from San Diego for a Howie Galloway. Given all of our other offers are out there, we can actually up the money for Mr. Galloway. Let's just give him like $9.5 million this year. And then Howard O'Neill. Give you a boatload of money as well. That still leaves us with plenty of money left over. We should be fine. We should be fine. All right, Eckert's the only guy who hasn't signed yet. Galloway and O'Neill are back. Okay. So we kick the can down the road a little bit in terms of having to worry about the bullpen. All right, Eckert, I mean, if you don't sign, that's on you. That's on you at that point. All right, good. Everybody signed. Sweet. So we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done. We're pretty much done in terms of setting up this team for next season. Wow, Drew Jones, 34 years old, getting traded. Have we renewed contract in the window during the season? No. I never bothered with the... Oh, in terms of like renewing contracts middle of the year? Yeah, we just did this past year. I thought you were talking about outright like renewable contracts. I'm like, I don't bother in terms of waiting for that actual period. Again, we don't do trades. We also don't make selections in the Rule 5. Hopefully we don't lose anybody. Hey, it's Del Bowser. Sweet, beautiful Del Bowser. Are we going to lose anybody? Are we going to lose anybody? Stop. Chauncey Crump. What a name. Stop making picks. There we go. Okay, cool. We didn't lose anybody in the Rule 5 either. That's great. No complaints about that. And again, at this point, all the signings, all of that, it's all generated players, so. Except for him. Oh, it would have been nice to bring him back. It would have been. It would have been nice to bring him back, but we already kind of set the line that if someone leaves, they leave. Bobby Tom Brady back in the National League. Oh my God, Fernando! Fernando, come home! We could use you as a DH now. Fernando! After 3 years. I don't have the money to sign him. Even if I wanted to. Have fun in Tampa. You deserve your sunny retirement. And maybe by 2038, that state won't be a massive tire fire. Not holding my breath. Not holding my breath. But yeah, we are set up. Let's go ahead and save. We are set up for another season. A sweet, beautiful season of Pirates baseball. Oh, goodness. The question is whether or not it's right now. Look at how far into the future we've gone. Look at how far into the future we've gone. Yet we've accomplished absolutely nothing.